So Z, you want to set it off? Because I know that this was one of your joints.
Yeah, definitely, man. Just the emergence, and I guess we're past the point of emergence with AI is here and it's here to stay. Um, I've D, I know you've messed around with it. You've messed around with it. Pause. I know Chat GPT kind of came out and pause again, took the world by storm.
Yeah.
And now you have Google Gemini,
Yep.
and you have Microsoft Copilot, which uses Chat GTP,
Yep.
and these large what are called large language models that basically attempt to answer any question that they are asked, and have been doing so with stunning capability and reliability. I recently got the paid version of Chat GTP because with my employment, I do a lot of writing and that sort of thing, a lot of technical writing.
Yeah.
And I was introduced through the paid version of Chat GPT to the GTP store.
Okay.
Which essentially has what's called GTPs. I forget what the acronym stands for, but it's essentially uses the AI for more specified reasons.
Okay.
So you might have a GTP that's specific purpose is to search academic papers, and it just searches academic papers. So you might have a GTP that is basically a web browser, but does a deep dive in certain aspects of the web that a normal browser wouldn't do. Or you might have a GTP that is for like specific to writing music or learning music, or these different things. And it's such an incredible resource. But the other side of it, of course, is it's taking people's jobs that for long people thought would always exist, because a lot of them are in the creative spaces.
Right.
It's also coding and doing things efficiently that human beings, took, months, weeks, and years to do. So I guess to kind of set it up, I would just ask, what are our thoughts on artificial intelligence? Is it a good thing? Is it, something that we need to be given the side eye? Is it something that we should adopt? Is it too late for us not to adopt? And where are the next 5, 10, 20 years going to look like in lieu of all of the advancements that have been happening in the past 5?
Yeah. Yeah. So my perspective is I'm personally all for the integration of AI, generative and extractive AI into the if I'm speaking about this in the context of a work environment, I'm all for it being integrated into workflows. I think as a person that uses various forms of AI, primarily I guess my personal endeavors, I do use primarily generative AI. But at work, I'm maybe using some forms of extractive as well. I like the idea of me being able to use various forms of AI to help me establish workflows, particularly when they can help me sort of alleviate potential error. Right. So I'm all for that. What I'm not for is people getting to a point where they leaning on AI to do their job for them, because I think that removes a very integral part of the human experience, right? And that is just being able to think and be innovative. So I was watching something. I think it was yesterday. I think it was on Abbott Elementary yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw this week's episode. It was very interesting. Okay. So on Abbott Elementary, they this week's episode, they talked about generative AI in the context of the school and using it to identify instances where students have used it to write their papers. Because as we all know, you could go on Chat GBT and say, listen, I want a paper on the civil rights movement and I needed to be on the history of the civil rights movement, and I needed to be 6 paragraphs, and I needed to cover this time period, and I needed to be written according to an 8th grader, right? And Chat GBT will spit that shit right out in a matter of seconds, right? So I think in that way, what if we're thinking about it in that way, if that's all a kid has to do, we're eliminating this sort of mental and intellectual conditioning, which is necessary to help propel kids into adulthood and help them to develop into rational, critical thinkers. You know what I'm saying? As an adult, though, right? As an adult, sometimes, right? And Z, I'm like you, I'm a writer too, right? Sometimes, like particularly when, and this is full disclosure, when we're getting ready to put episodes up, right? And I got to think of a quick blurb for the description section, right? And I got a lot going on. I might pop into Chat GBT and say, all right, here's my paragraph. I want you to clean this up. Or my paragraph is kind of long. Chat GBT, I need you to shorten it into maybe 4 sentences.
Yeah.
With that.
You know what I mean? But I know that I've already developed the skill to be a critical thinker, to be able to to be an effective writer, right? And to be able to one that writes with human emotion when needed, and then also, being able to do it in a way that's effective. So if we're rolling this out and we're not careful, and and kids are sort of adopting this as a pillar of culture moving forward, then we need to be worried about AI, because AI is going to just take everything over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's my concern.
Because it's thinking. So it's like, they got it programmed where it's not thinking that it's a sentient being yet. I think they had different episodes where, they really believe they was alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, we're feeding it just like we fed Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
All this information of the human experience.
Yeah.
So like once it is able to think for itself to say, hey, just tap out. And now is thinking like they had different situations, you know what I'm saying? Like the doctors got murdered by a robot, right? An AI robot. You heard about that?
Nah.
Yeah, it came alive.
I mean, I heard about that on the movie iRobot, because I remember
that actually happened.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He woke up like, man, what the fuck? I hate all humans.
So there was an actual robot being,
situation,
cyborg type being that killed the doctor.
Doctors.
So you're talking about literally a bipedal standing upright robot that. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. All right.
4.
We need a link for that or something, bro.
Yeah. That shit is wow.
I don't think they have the link for the video for that. But it happened.
Yeah, that's
because
crazy.
They don't want to create fear in the people and showing some shit like that.
Yeah. Well, listen,
I'm not going to trust that. Why would I want to be a part of that? Right.
All right. Let me ask you this. So it's being incorporated. The plan is to incorporate it into everybody's industry, one way or another. You're in transportation. You get a brand new state-of-the-art bus.
That's a wrap.
You're a seasoned driver. You're
Ralph Crandon, son. I was Ralph Crandon.
You know what I'm saying? You're one of the best of the best. You're the transporter out here.
Nothing.
But you go to work one day and you're tired, man. You ain't get a lot of sleep. You know what I'm saying? You also an artist, right? You got your, you had an exhibit, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Had to get up early, had to be up late. You're exhausted. This bus has AI. It has an autopilot, the state of the art. This is 5 years from now, 10 years from now. The state of the art. Do you trust this bus? And do you trust the AI to take a little bit of a nap? You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody see you in the enclosure, you in the cockpit or whatever. This is a futuristic bus. Can't nobody see what you got going on.
Uh-huh.
And the AI is, you know what I'm saying? The AI is creme de la creme. Do you trust this bus to make those stops and to get you there and your passengers there safely?
They have self-driving vehicles in Grand Rapids called the May.
The what? What is it called?
The May buses or the May
Okay.
rides. And they were self-driving vehicles, but they had like a human attendee, you know what I'm saying, guiding the vehicle just in case it got crazy. I guess a couple of times it did get crazy. They didn't talk about it.
Was this like a test initiative that they had, or these are
they actually had
fully functional live
fully functional business, and then it stopped.
Wow.
Because they got into an accident.
Yeah.
And they try to cover it up because they don't want to show that AI makes mistakes too. I think the scariest thing that I see is the jobs that's being taken from it. Like I was in the grocery store and they had this robot that was thinking, it was scanning all the, the barcodes, everything.
Oh, that shit in Walmart. Yep.
That's like 4 or 5 jobs done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we use it, you know what I'm saying? I use it for assistance, you know what I mean? Sometimes I am tired. Sometimes I gotta put some shit up real quick and then I just juvie it to my standards. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it was my original idea. Just, it helps out,
Yeah.
But so I use it as an assistant. I'm still trying to figure out how to rig the lottery with it, you know what I'm saying, and give me the numbers that I need to be rich. But
right,
rig the lottery.
They don't want to help with that, you know what I'm saying?
let me ask y'all this. Because one of the biggest complaints about AI is, yes, it's going to take people's jobs. This is clearly going to take people's jobs. It already is. It already has, right? Mm-hmm. I think that there's going to be a different conversation that we're having in the next 2 to 5 years with the advent of this technology as to, do we really need to work at this point as a human race? Does the working class need to exist? And if the working class does not need to exist because a robot can make a better drink more consistently than a person, or a robot can, wash dishes more thoroughly, and your steak will be, if you want medium well, your steak will be medium well. Like these different things, right, that a robot can do. We might get to a point very soon as a human race that the necessity of the working class in a capitalist society does not necessarily exist anymore, because we're in an industrial revolution that essentially builds itself.
That's right. That's
so
right.
What the fuck we gonna do?
Well, I could tell you this too, is that Z, you bring up a good point, and I know as a strategist that businesses are always looking at ways to reduce waste at every level of the operating scope of a business. So if it means that in the instance of restaurants, we could figure out a way to reduce the use of water, right, in washing dishes. And if we can implement AI tools to do that, then let's do that. If we can figure out a way to reduce waste or reduce the amount of energy that's being used to cook steaks.
Yeah, wait time.
You know what I mean?
Carbon
let's
footprint.
implement it. You know what I mean?
Chili. I didn't mean to cut you off, D, but Chili does that really well. I went to Chili's and they use like a tablet, and that like reduces wait time, and they get you in and get you out.
And I could tell you, here's the reality too, is that we're only at the beginning. I know many of us are very fascinated about how much progress has been made in what appears to be a short period of time, but we're only at the beginning. So that's why I'm really excited about it, not because of using it at my 9 to 5, but it gives me an opportunity to identify how we can use it, or in just your individual business dealings, in your creativity, in your exploits of, I don't know, business development that serves and supports your family, your family. So one of the things that I was in knowing that we were going to talk about this today, I had wanted to create two examples of AI. One in which you could be creative with it and have fun with it, but you can also use it to sort of help convey brand messaging, right? And being able and convey brand messaging, but also being able to just stay engaged with people and create sort of new novel ways to engage with the audience. So this is a good example of AI. Check it out.
I am the artificial visual manifestation of D.D. Turner's words and thoughts. On behalf of the entire Daily Walk crew, we thank you for your engagement. Please continue to tune in to check out the TDW crew's approach to exploring polarizing topics and their occasional twisted collective sense of humor as they laugh at shit that simply shouldn't be laughed at. I sometimes wonder, the fuck is wrong with these guys? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yo,
So that's just us having
bro. His name is officially Lamont, bro.
we can name him Lamont. That's
Why you got a lisp though?
So we officially call him Lamont. That'll be our guy, and we
Lamont
can
from
use
Atlanta.
him.
Bro got a cyber lisp.
Yeah, to make messages. He's glitching.
Maybe he needs a leg extension and shit.
Maybe, right? Maybe.
He was designed in Atlanta.
Yeah, exactly. So Z, we were thinking about this, right? And it's like in this broad AI conversation, and I guess the mass consumption of AI and the use of it by just individuals, we have to be careful, man, because the other thing is that there could be a great deal of irresponsible use, right?
Yeah.
And messaging that can get out there and persuade people or just, spread misinformation. You know what I'm saying? And now it's so easy for people to go onto these various websites and create images of people that satisfy their needs, their design needs, and then they could put a voice to it with messaging and put it out there. And if the shit goes viral, whoever it lands on, they're receiving misinformation and are being steered in a different wrong direction. So this is an example of that. This is when AI goes wrong.
Block middle-aged ass dudes ain't shit. They ain't gonna be shit. They ain't gonna amount to shit. They trying to be something that they aren't. We don't need any more podcasters. We don't need any more pretending ass men thinking that they're doing something for the hood. Fake ass intellectuals. Fake ass community organizers. Corny dudes with education. I wants me a hood dude that treats me like shit and don't take care of his responsibilities. He can get this WAP all day.
That's when the shit goes wrong. So somebody's putting messages out there like that,
shit, you know what I'm saying?
And if people are only looking at the attraction or the beauty of the AI that's being designed, and they're not getting past and recognizing that, something is horrible with this and it's not real. You know what I mean?
Dog.
I was locked in, bro. I was too.
You need to play that back and just put her on mute.
I'll send y'all the file.
I get my lotion and shit. I'll be ready, bro. But nah. Yo, my question is, what is the OnlyFans bitches gonna do if bitches like that is right now out there? You know what I'm saying? Because they like literally making money off of like, you know what I'm saying, like just the AI images of women.